All right, welcome back to the channel. So you knew this was going to happen. Dillian Whyte gets knocked out by Alexander Povetkin, and Tony Bellew finds a way to blame Deontay WIlder for the loss. It never stops, man. These guys can't sell tickets without talking about Deontay WIlder, man. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Look, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And thank you to everybody that supports on the Patreon. Thank you to everybody that supports and as channel members and in the live streams that we do Monday through Friday in OG Boxing Talk. Dillian Whyte got knocked all the way out, man. It was a beautiful uppercut that ended any serious discussion about Dillian Whyte and him being a top heavyweight. Now, before I get into the fact that Tony Bellew found a way to blame it on Deontay WIlder, or maybe it might be better to say find a way to salt Deontay WIlder or throw Deontay WIlder under the bus for Dillian Whyte getting knocked out. But before I get into that, though, I have to tell you how happy I am that Dillian Whyte got knocked out. Man, I was going through Twitter and I wasn't alone. There are a lot of people really happy that Dillian Whyte got knocked out. Wonder why that is. What a great personality. You know what I mean? What a great guy. Never talked smack about any man. Anyway, talk smack about everybody. Got what he's coming to him. But here's the thing, man. I told you guys, and I've told you multiple times, I've been saying this for a couple years. Dillian Whyte is going to get knocked out. He's not that good, okay? For all of this talk that was going around about Anthony Joshua and all the great competition he was fighting and how much better, how everybody that fights Deontay Wilder is a bum and everybody that fights Anthony Joshua is great. And everybody that Deontay Wilder is a bum, but anybody that Tyson Fury fights is great, unless it's Deontay Wilder, in which point in time, depending on who you're talking to, Deontay Wilder is a bum, but Tyson Fury is great. Look, man, like Larry Holmes said, none of these guys are that good, man. None of them, okay? Anthony Joshua ain't that good. Tyson Fury ain't that good. Dillian Whyte's not that good. Povetkin's not that good. Chisora's not that good. These dudes are none of these guys. And I'll include Deontay Wilder in that, with the exception of the fact that he has that much talent and the ability to completely turn your lights out, dude. All of these heavyweight dudes, especially the ones coming out of the UK, are overrated, man. Tremendously, tremendously overrated. Dillian Whyte, and all of the cheating. So it's the combination, in my opinion, it's the combination of this little circular ongoing tournament that Matchroom has had for several years, where it's Dillian Whyte and Povetkin and Joshua and Chisora and Takam and all of those guys fighting one another. They all fighting each other. They're all at the same level. But because they're all at the same level, that's why they're all beating one another. You know what I mean? That's why they're all beating. Why they're all beating one another. They're just not that good, man. There's no tremendous amount of separation between any of these guys. And Deontay Wilder would have done the same thing to Dillian Whyte that Alexander Povetkin did, except for he probably would have done it within the first 6 rounds, just kind of backing up on him, just back and letting Dillian Whyte throw some shots. Eventually, dude, he fights with his hands like this and he fights with his guard like this. Eventually, dude, somebody's going to come right up the middle and land that up on Dillian Whyte, and he's out of there. However, on to the subject matter of the video, because I can't contain myself with all this smack talking about Dillian Whyte, and because this is it's predictable. However, Tony Bellew comes out and blames Deontay Wilder and says Dillian Whyte was waiting for 1,000 days is the number one for his mandatory shot, and for 200 of those, or 800 of those days, it was Deontay Wilder and Deontay Wilder was running around fighting a bunch of bums, and that's why Dillian didn't get his shot. Dillian will be champion. No, Dillian will not be champion. Dillian will not be champion because Dillian Whyte's not that good, man. Dillian Whyte is going to lose to Andy Ruiz. Dillian Whyte is going to lose to Deontay Wilder. Dillian Whyte is going to lose to Michael Hunter. Dillian Whyte got knocked out by a 40-year-old Povetkin. He's just not that good. But never let that stand in the way of trying to tear down Deontay Wilder, even though he has nothing to do with that fight whatsoever. Deontay Wilder was not in the where he wasn't on the plantation with Master Eddie. He wasn't on the plantation. He wasn't on the play-by-play. He didn't leave any. He didn't make any statements. He didn't make any statements about the fight or anything, dude. The only thing Deontay Wilder has said is that, he believes in an eye for an eye with Tyson Fury. He put out a tweet and he said, I believe in Raz, something like that. But I was told, didn't look it up, but was told that means I believe in an eye for an eye. And you know what that's about. That's about Tyson Fury cheating. That's about Tyson Fury cheating. And again, all y'all people. Now, this is something funny came out about that fight, though. Really funny came out of that fight. Alexander Povetkin double and triple checked Dillian Whyte's gloves, making sure there was no funny business with the gloves, that the same gloves that he fought in the day before were going to be the same gloves he fought in, would be the same gloves he fought Alexander Povetkin in. So that tells you, dude, that people have been listening to what's going on about with these gloves, Dillian Whyte's glove, Tyson Fury's gloves. And now that all of that stuff is like in the center of boxing, dude, people are catching that stuff and seeing that stuff. It's just a shame, man. Anyway, Dillian Whyte is just a shame. Just a shame to UK boxing, man. Like, this guy, now I do agree with something that Tyson Fury said about Dillian Whyte. Tyson Fury said that Dillian Whyte was there to protect Anthony Joshua from Tyson Fury. Now, I agree with that in part. I disagree with that. I disagree with other parts of that. Dillian Whyte was there to protect Anthony Joshua from Deontay Wilder, for sure. He wasn't there to protect Dillian Whyte. He didn't get in that situation trying to protect Anthony Joshua from Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte, the only reason that Dillian Whyte has been relevant in the heavyweight division is because of Deontay Wilder. Because that is the person sorry about that. I got a really funny text hit me at the time I was making a video. Anyway, man, I'm so sorry for being slightly scatterbrained in this video. I really am having a hard time making subjects about Dillian Whyte because there's really several very good, interesting topics, but it just keeps coming around to how happy I am that the dude got knocked out, man. I'm starting to feel bad. Like maybe I shouldn't feel like that. But anyway, man, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, the only reason there is a Dillian Whyte or anybody who's interested in Dillian Whyte is because Eddie Hearn tried to match him up with Deontay Wilder so that Eddie Hearn could have the WBC and all of the rest of the belts. But Dillian Whyte never had any. I don't believe Dillian Whyte ever had any intention on fighting Deontay Wilder. If he had gotten the fight with Deontay Wilder, dude, he would have tried to find a way to get out of the fight with Deontay Wilder. But, it is what it is. Tony Bellew should be ashamed of himself, man. At a certain point in time, dude, you guys got to get over this Deontay Wilder thing, okay? Deontay Wilder is an excellent fighter, and this fight against Dillian Whyte is another example why Deontay Wilder is a very good fighter, man. He's not going to get knocked out by an uppercut by a 40-year-old Alexander Povetkin. And the first good, solid shot that Alexander Povetkin landed on Dillian Whyte, dog, Dillian Whyte went night-night. Deontay Wilder took a flush left hook from a very heavy hitter was that a right hook he hit him with? I think it might have been a right hook because it's a southpaw from Luis Ortiz, dude, and did not go down like that. Deontay Wilder got hit flush with some padded ass gloves by Tyson Fury, and he still went 7 rounds, dude, and wasn't going to stop in that fight. Dillian Whyte went completely unconscious, man. You can't fix that. Okay, because now you know you got a night-night switch, okay? Because people know you got that, there's that switch right there. That's that switch. And they're going to be looking for that uppercut. Dillian Whyte is done. Anyway, it is what it is. Sorry for the rambling video, man, but it just feels so good. Anyway, peace.